Hi guys, today you join me on a very dark, rainy Saturday morning. I'm going to go down the local lake to see if I can catch some out on bread. I was there last week with Pal from work and they were feeling on the surface happy as anything. So let's get down the lake. Right, I have arrived at the venue. There is another lake literally opposite the car park that I was going to throw bread in that one, come and throw bread in this one, go back and do a lap of that one, come back and do a lap of this one, basically see which one was feeding and go from there. However, I know in this lake there's so many carp, there's a lot more trees to shelter me from the rain, so I think I'm just going to put all my eggs in one basket and stick it out on here. I've only got a few hours, so let's just go for it.
In this video, I'll be using a solid bag as I've never caught on one, and I'll be surface fishing as it is my favourite way to fish.
So when I surface fish is bubble float, this is a pike float, fairly long hook length. There's no breaks in the line whatsoever other than not in the hook, and to hook the bread I simply take a square, hook through the middle like so, and just pinch the eye there, leaving the point exposed. This is nice and heavy, so it's not going to come off on the cast, and a nice fluffy bit on top of the carp. The heavy bit also helps so that when the fish takes the bread, the hook falls into the carp's mouth. So, great tactic. Let's get this one out. Believe it or not, they are actually feeding down there on the bread, so it's a good sign. The only thing is it's just out of bounds. I can't seem to get my rig right on it. The bank's a bit too steep to wander down there and drop it in. So I've just cast out, left the bail arm off and letting the wind take the rig down into that corner. So it's a long process, but it's one that has to be made, and I'm sure it will result in a carp. Get on the bread. So there we go. Fish one off the surface, chucking it down the rain, not particularly warm, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Throwing a carp out there, it doesn't like bread. So do what you will with that information. I use it all year round if I can. If the water I'm fishing allows me to use bread, at some point during that session, I will use bread.
Waiting for the wind to blow my rig into the right place was getting a bit frustrating, so I decided to pack up, go around the other side of the pads where I'd be able to access their comfort zone a bit easier.
Hello. How's your Saturday? Not interested.
It would appear the local wildlife wasn't too impressed with the downpour either, or perhaps it was just my face.
Right, there I was, fishing on the surface. I was fishing one rod on a solid bag as well, as you know. I just popped the hook bait in the margin on its own without the bag where I've moved swims, and it absolutely roared off. Look at this. Gorgeous mirror carp. What a fish. Stunning.
Though I was happy with catching that fish, I still couldn't claim that I'd caught one on a solid bag, which is pretty poor for a carp angler.
Fish number 3, and the second one off the surface. Little common, getting back. Keep fishing, got a couple of hours left I think. I've only been here an hour and a half or so, so they're definitely feeding. Another one, genuinely lost count now. Hauling the baby carp, having a great time. Still got a little bit of time. There's nothing like it.
By this point, I'd lost count how many carp I'd caught off the surface. I did have to delete some of the footage due to it being poor and the rain landed on the camera lens, but we move. All in all, I had a great couple of hours surface fishing.
Well, that's the end of today's session. I'm walking back to the car with the gear. I'm all packed up. I've had a great day. For me, you just can't beat walking around the lake, watching them feed on the surface. If they're not feeding, you can move to a different spot of the lake. It's an active way of fishing, and for me, I find it a much more productive way of fishing. For now, I'm going to go home, have a wash and chill out. Thanks for watching.
Again, thanks for watching. Hopefully next time I actually catch one on a solid bag.